Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So, I wasn't too sure what to do today. My brain isn't working and I thought, you know what, let's go with something that I enjoy and I like. So I'm going to do one of my pearl pour, dirty pour combinations. But this is kind of a test run. So usually when I do this, I add two colours, an opaque and a transparent in the same colour range. But I don't have any opaque reds, but I want a red. So because the red is a transparent and the black is an opaque, usually they come out really dark and you don't notice them as much. So what I've done is I've made a larger amount of red and a smaller amount of the black and the white, hoping that this will just give me a little bit more variation. So I have 60 grams of red, brilliant red mont paint. Is it this one? No, it's this one. 60 grams of this paint mixed with 120 grams of Australian floetrol. The black and the white, I have 15 grams of paint to 30 grams of floetrol. So these are all mixed 2 to 1. Then I am using decoart americana decor metallics in silver. And this is 30 grams paint and 30 grams floetrol. So this is a mixed 1 to 1 when all the other paints are 2 to 1. So that's all I'm using, and I'm going to do this as a dirty pour like I normally would, but instead of mixing the two different colors, I'm just going to keep going red, black, red, white, red, silver, and see how it goes. So I'm hoping to get a decent amount of red in it without it just getting buried by the black, because I know the black can do that. I'm hoping to find a red in an opaque, but there's not very many of them around unless I go for the really expensive paints, which I don't I'm not using just yet. I don't have enough money to get the really expensive paints. So stir up the silver, even though I've only just mixed all these two, so they haven't been mixed very long. And pour from a height, please. You want it to smash in and bury into it. That's what's going to give me the effects. So I'm just hoping that reducing the amount of white and the amount of black will give me less, because the white's going to turn it pink and the black's going to hide it. So this is my way of hoping that I can get a red one without it being too concealed by the other colours, is probably the best way to describe it. And as you can see, when I pour it from a height, it's putting bubbles in there, air in there. So it will have air bubbles in this, so you will have to torch. Okay. So some days when your brain doesn't work or you can't think of what to do, go with what you know, because sometimes I've tried to do something different on a day where I'm a little bit unsure, and I think I make more of a disaster than an actual nice artwork. So sometimes you're best to just, if you're having a hard day thinking, go with what you know. I am going to do another artwork later today, which is something I haven't done before. But I have an appointment and I don't have time to do that until later, so I thought I'll get this one done now. This should be relatively quick. It's a 16 by 12 canvas. I've got my corner catcher ready. And yeah. Yeah, I've been a little bit busy lately, so I feel like I haven't had as much time to kind of plan my pours in my head beforehand, which sometimes makes it hard when you go to do one. You're like, what do I do? What do I do? And yeah. So this may be less galaxy-like because there isn't as much black in there to kind of make it look like a galaxy. But I should get a decent amount of pearls. So that's the plan. And I think the silver would have gone the best with this. I've got other metallics, but I really like the silver. That's gotta be my favourite, I think. So are we still recording? Yes, we are. And I hope, sometimes I've noticed when I watch my videos back, the camera looks like it's actually in the pictures in the middle, but when I go and look back, it's kind of off-centered. I don't know why, because when I look through the back of the screen, it looks even. So, strange, but that's sometimes what happens. I don't have a professional setup. I'm just a hobby artist. Okay, now it's just going to be a dirty pour. Straight down into the middle. So far it looks good. It looks like the black hasn't taken over. Okay. Because sometimes even when you use just a little bit of black, it can take over still. But it has, there is slight pink tone to this. So, now I just have to decide. It's usually always easier if I go the same way each time. I'm a bit of a creature of habit. So, if I tilt this way, this corner seems to be the easiest way for me to go. Just go nice and steady, don't want to lose too much paint. Alright, in the corner. Yep. Now take it off. Bring it back. Hold this here. Come down. Into the corner. There we go. Now it's the more challenging part of holding the canvas level. Got less area to hold on to once the paint's on there. So now I'm going over to this corner. In the corner. Come back. Where's my paint? It's heavy over here. in the corner, come back. Alrighty, put this down, get my corner catcher out of the way. Now, to decide, I want to move this around a little bit so then it creates more pearls. And if there's any part that you would rather tip off, do that now. I'm just swirling the paint around. I don't want to lose this bottom corner. I love that. I think I'm going to leave it there. So the black is actually making it look really cool over here, but I just worry that when it dries, whether the black would take over too much. So that was why I didn't want to put too much black into it in the first place. But like I said, this is a bit of a test to see how it performs with the red. You got to kind of sometimes mix it up, do something that's not exactly what you've always done before. This is a technique I've done before, but I'm mixing up the recipe, mixing up the colors and seeing how it works. And I didn't want this to be in the middle. Sometimes I like the main end bit to be in the middle. Sometimes it's better to be off-centered, so it draws your attention to a different angle of the painting, not always centered. Don't always want to have your feature in the middle. Sometimes it looks good, sometimes it isn't the best. So we are popping bubbles now, which there are a lot. Alright, can't see any more popping, which is good. Now, all we have to do now is allow this to develop. So where I did pop some bubbles here, they're now turning into little mini pearls or cells. But this will keep transforming. But I absolutely love this section and this. So the black actually, maybe I could have used a little bit more black because I am liking this, but I want to see how it looks dry. Before I go too much further, we are going to scrape the edges and check the corners. Yep. Oh, I can see a corner. A tiny little bald spot in the corner. There we go. Ah. Another little bit on this side. So I'm scraping this. I'm just going to put what I scraped on that edge bit right there. I'm just placing it on there and letting it fall off. It's by itself. You don't want to look like you've actually painted it on. Alright. You're going to go out the way, Mr. Corner Catcher. There we go. So I don't have a lot of drips running off yet. Hopefully I don't, because I don't want it to overly change. But what can happen is when the pearls develop, it pushes the other paint out of the way so it can expand. And that's why sometimes you do get stuff that runs off the edges. So don't always be overly alarmed about it. Alright, this is looking, I like this. As you can see, most of this silver up here has all blended with the red. So it's kind of gone a pinky, reddy, it's not a solid silver, we've got streaks of solid silver. Some pearls are, but a lot of it have blended with the red, which is precisely why I like silver. I feel like it takes on the tones of the other colours easier than the other colours do, the other metallics. And so you can kind of get an artwork which has got pearls and silver in it, but it's still taking on that colour from the other paint, which is really, really cool. So it's going to still develop for a few more minutes, I would say, but I'm loving this. So if that dries well and the red doesn't get too hidden through the black, I would probably do this again with adding more black. I purposely left it out thinking it would take over, and it hasn't so far. But this is why you got to test out things. And sometimes you will do it one time and the black won't take over. Another time it might, even using the same amount of paint. So I'm going to pause this and let it develop for a little bit, and then I will be back. Okay, so 5 minutes has passed, and as you can see, more pearls are getting developed and more stronger, so they're becoming a bit more defined. This part up here is still staying quite big pearls, but the ring around the center and down here is getting a little bit more, they're developing and they're getting their shape quite well. So we will just see a little bit more paint is coming off the drips, not a lot, which is good. Not much on that side, so yeah. Excellent. So this has turned out quite good in my eyes. I do want to see how it's going to develop more. I haven't got time to let it develop and show you after. I have to get ready and go out, but I'll take more photos if it changes more. But I love this section. So if this dries well, I will do another one with more black, and maybe not even add any white, just kind of keep it dramatic with red and black, red, black and silver really, and see how that turns out. But I will bring you in for a closer look, but I think this has turned out pretty all right. So let me come and get the camera. Okay, there we go. So the red is pretty close to what I see with my eyes. Probably a little bit darker in certain spots, but it's picking up the colours relatively good. So this is my favourite little spot down here. See where the black and the silver are kind of making nice little indents. I just like it how the pearls are kind of outlined with the black. That looks pretty cool. As you can see, we've got pearls coming up all the way along here. They're quite nice. Up here, starting to get the larger cells where they're stretched out, but I like it how it's pushing the red in between the cracks. Coming along. And then we have down here where it's kind of silver streaks. But this here may develop a little bit more where it pushes and becomes more defined. It might not. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. You often just have to leave it and wait till it finishes doing what it's doing. But this is it. I'm really happy with it. And yeah, the red, so far the red is actually holding together better than I was thinking it was going to. So I hope you enjoyed. So like, share, subscribe and comment. I think that's all. And I'll see you tomorrow for another pour. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.